Everything you believe was installed by somebody else. Your political views, your preferences, your buying decisions, all of it was programmed into you. And today I'm going to show you how to do the same thing to your audience. In 1928, a man named Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud, wrote a book called Propaganda. He said the conscious manipulation of organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element to a democratic society. He later rebranded it from propaganda to public relations because the word had become toxic. Same mechanics, better branding. Today, we call it content marketing, personal branding, thought leadership. But let's be honest about what it actually is. Belief installation at scale. You're not creating content. You're programming minds without ever meeting them. Then Google discovered something very powerful about buyer behavior. They call it the 7-11-4 rule. Before someone buys from you, they need 7 hours of consuming your content, 11 touch points, that's interactions with your brand, across 4 different locations. This is the indoctrination threshold. Below it, you're a stranger. Above it, you're a trusted authority. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how this works. The psychology behind why it works, mere exposure, parasocial relationships, and belief installation. And the tactical playbook for turning strangers into believers before they ever hop on a call with you. By the end of this, your sales calls will feel like order taking because the content did the selling for you. Let's get into it. 7 hours to own their mind, the content indoctrination strategy, the uncomfortable truth about content. Let's call content marketing what it actually is. Propaganda. Let's bring it back. Belief installation at scale. Content marketing, which is kind of what it's known as today. Edward Bernays, nephew of Sigmund Freud, wrote the book Propaganda in 1928. He said, the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. He later rebranded propaganda as public relations because the word had become toxic. Same mechanics, better branding. Today we call it content marketing, personal branding, thought leadership, audience building, but the mechanics are identical. Install beliefs in minds at scale without direct conversation. Let's talk about this for a minute here because, look, propaganda gets a bad rap. It's got a lot of stigma, but it's not really a positive word in today's age. And what it really, because we're about business, right? We're about either selling our products or services to people, right? Whether you're a content creator, business owner, entrepreneur, etc. And when you find out about the 7-11-4 rule later on, as we'll discuss, of what it takes to get a stranger to someone who's a buyer or someone who's ready, because you only want to buy from people you like, trust, and know, right? And influencers are trying to do that every single day onto your channels, your feeds, YouTube channels like this, or Instagram, things like that. And so however you want to use this. Now, again, just to be clear, we're not using this for manipulation. We're not, we don't want to cause people harm or damage, things like that. However, I just want to expose what organizations are doing, religions are doing, what other creators are doing, just so you're aware and you just know what's up. That's all kind of what I want to accomplish in today's video. So because it's very fascinating as far as like how it actually works, what it takes, and over and over and over again, like repetition. We're creatures of habit, right? So when we see the same thing over and over again, the same face, the same environment, so to speak, right? You kind of start getting indoctrinated or influenced or getting to know them more, right? So again, just kind of want to put that out there before we move forward further. So the 7-11-4 rule, this is Google's research. Google studied buyer behavior and discovered a pattern. 7 hours of content consumption, 11 touch points, which is like interactions with the brand. It could be like the Facebook page, Instagram, email, a phone call, text message, anything like that. 4 locations, which is 4 different platforms. Before someone buys, they need 7 hours of consuming your content, 11 touch points, 4 different locations. This is the indoctrination threshold. Below it, you're a stranger, and above it, you're a trusted authority. The math that changes everything. This is traditional sales, and this is the content indoctrination. What does that look like? Traditionally, we're talking an hour sales call, 1 person at a time. You trade your time for trust. 7 hours could even equal 7 calls per client, right? Follow-ups, etc. The content indoctrination states, here we have 1 hour recorded video. We just do it once. 10,000 people watch it. Content trades time for trust. 7 hours equals 7 videos per viewer. Now we can scale infinitely if they all watch it, of course. One video watched by 10,000 people, it's 10,000 hours of time with you that cost you really 1 hour to create. It's amazing. It's an amazing return. By the way, guys, if you're realizing your content strategy has been backwards or you just like this stuff, please subscribe. I break down the psychology behind why people buy. Let's get into it. The psychology of why this works, the mere exposure effect. Psychologist Robert Zajnik, I might be mispronouncing that, 1968, discovered that repeated exposure to something, right, even without conscious attention, increases the liking and the trust of it. You don't need to convince them, you just need to appear to them repeatedly. And here's the different exposures, here's the perception, and here's the trust level. From 1 to 2, very skeptical. From 6 to 10, now people are familiar. 11 plus, people are ready to buy, or people are ready to listen, people trust, people like you, etc. Familiarity breeds trust, trust breeds sales. Parasocial relationships, Horton and Wall identified this in 1956. Parasocial interactions, the illusion of a face-to-face relationship with a media figure. When someone watches hours of your content, they feel like they know you. They feel like you're friends. This is one-sided intimacy, of course, and it's incredibly powerful for business. So their experience is that I spent 10 hours with this person. I know their stories. I know how they think, and I trust them. Your reality is you've never met them. You don't even know their name. You recorded the thing once, and 10,000 other people feel the same way. By the time they get to the sales call, they already feel like they know you. The sale's 80% done before you even say a word. And here's the belief installation. Robert Cialdini, who wrote Persuasion, showed that persuasion doesn't happen in the moment of the pitch. It happens before. Every piece of content installs a micro-belief. Stacking of micro-beliefs and buying becomes really the only logical conclusion. So for example, why speed beats perfection? That's the content topic, and the belief installed is I need to move faster. Why most agencies fail? I don't want to make those mistakes. Or sometimes they push you for another model, another business. You never know. The leverage equation, I'm trading time for money wrong, and etc. So you're not really selling. You're installing the beliefs that make the buying inevitable. The Indoctrination Funnel. Forget awareness, consideration, and purchase. Here's how it actually works. Stage 1, stranger phase. This is 0 to 2 touch points. People are still saying, hey, who is this? Why should I care? Your job here is to get attention, be interesting, and get them to the familiar stage. Familiar stage is 3 to 7 touch points. I've seen this before. This is slightly interesting. You provide value. You show up consistently. Stage 3, becoming a believer. 8 to 11 touch points. Now we're cooking. I trust this person. They get it. Install beliefs. You build your worldview. And now buyer stage, or fan stage, or hardcore follower, loyal subscriber, etc. Okay, you replace whatever that makes sense here for you. They think now I need to work with them. Where do I sign? Make the offer, make the order, etc. Notice the actual selling only happens in stage 4. Everything before it's all indoctrination. So guys, most people are trying to sell to strangers. That's why it's hard. Please subscribe for more on how to make sales easy by doing more of the work up front. This is very fascinating stuff here as we go into it. The tactical playbook. Number 1 here, we stack touch points across platforms. Remember, 4 different locations, same message, different formats. YouTube, podcast, social media, and we got email. Each of them have a different relationship or different mode. YouTube's more long form depth. Podcast is more intimate audio. Social is daily presence. Email is more of a direct one-to-one relationship. One piece of content repurposing across all different platforms. The touch point, same effort. This is really, really effective. Number 2, manufacture hours with long form content. So remember, 7 hours, shorts and tweets won't get you there. That's what we have to consume total. So what does that look like? For tweets and shorts, again, it's only 30 seconds. You're going to need 840 pieces for that, right? Carousel and threads, you're buying about 2 minutes of time. And this is where it starts stacking up. So YouTube videos, right? 15 minutes on average. You're getting 15 minutes of content. You'll need 28 pieces. A lot, 148 example. And the best one, of course, is podcasts. Those could be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 60 minutes, 7 pieces of content to get up to the 7 hours. Now, not everybody needs the full 7 hours, but that's just kind of what the studies have shown. Long form content is the fastest path to the 7-hour threshold. Shorts are for discovery. Long form is for the indoctrination. Number 3, install beliefs strategically. So every piece of content should install one of these belief categories: problem, solutions, authorities, urgency, and identity. An example of a problem belief is I have this problem, so we create awareness. Solution is this is how to solve it. Positions your method as the answer. This person knows what they're doing. Now we're getting to the authority belief. It builds trust in you. Urgency belief, I need to act now, creates momentum towards the purchase. And the identity belief is, hey, I'm the type of person who ... makes buying feel like a self-expression. Map your content calendar to these categories. Don't just make content, install beliefs. And that's how we create success here. Number 4, create your worldview, not just the content. So the most powerful indoctrination creates a worldview, a lens through which they see everything. Random content could be like 5 tips for productivity, how to write better emails, my running routine. Everything is very helpful, but very forgettable. It's random. Now, here's something more structured into a worldview content. Speed beats perfection, always. Leverage is the only game worth playing. Your self-interest is a virtue. Result is that they adopt your lens. Once someone adopts your worldview, buying from you becomes the logical conclusion. They don't need to be convinced. They've already been converted. Use asymmetric leverage. Create once, indoctrinate forever. Here's the time it takes to make some content. Here's the views that you can get from it. This is only linear. This is once. Here's where we can scale infinitely, especially with paid ads, like I've always discussed. I'm a huge believer of paid ads. You should always start a business with paid ads in mind. That's just my belief. And then time with you. If you make one single piece of content for 2 hours and you get 1,000 views, that's 250 hours spent time with you. You're not even there. You just spent 2 hours making the content and that's it. 10,000 views is 2,500 hours and 100,000 views is 25,000 hours. That's insane. That's a 12,500 to 1 leverage at that level. And guys, if you're realizing that, this content is the highest leverage activity of use of your time in your business, please subscribe. Every video I make is designed to install beliefs, including this one. So the bottom line is that the indoctrination formula is this: 7 hours of content consumption, ideally, 11 touch points across platforms, strategic belief installation, like we talked about, not just random, buyers who sell themselves at this point after they've indoctrinated and went through your content. So then you have 2 choices. Keep selling to strangers. Maybe you fight for every conversion. You still have, you might get burned out on the sales calls. So you wonder why it's so hard. Or number 2, you build the indoctrination machine. You create content that does the selling while you sleep. You turn strangers into believers before you ever speak to them. Propaganda works. The only question is whether you'll use it or keep being used by it, essentially. You can be the one doing the programming or the one being programmed. You have to choose. So to kind of wrap all this up here, every brand you buy from has done this to you at some point or another. Every creator you follow has done this to you. Every business you trust has crossed a 7-hour threshold in your mind before you ever gave them money. You didn't decide to trust them. You were kind of conditioned to. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's just how humans work. We trust familiarity. We trust repetition. We trust people who show up consistently. And you know how to use it now. So here's what I want you to take away. Stop thinking of content as marketing. Start thinking of it as indoctrination. Every video installs a belief. Every touch point builds familiarity. Every hour they spend with your content is an hour of programming. Do this right, and by the time they get on a call with you, they're already sold. They're not evaluating you, they're confirming what they already believe. That's the power of content first business. You do the work once and it sells for you forever. Drop a comment. What's the one belief you want to install in your audience? I want to see you thinking like a propagandist. And if this was valuable, subscribe. I'm installing the belief that you should follow me every week at this point. Hopefully it's working, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.